All right, a little preview of the Panthers versus Falcons game. Then I'll get to yesterday's game. Don't worry, I will. I promise. Carolina versus Atlanta. It's going to be one heck of a show for a variety of reasons. First off, it's the third-ranked defense versus the best offensive team in the National Football League. But anything can happen. Anything can change after tonight's Monday Night Football game when the Falcons play the Saints in New Orleans. So, if I'm the Atlanta Falcons, especially on the defensive side of the ball, since they're the sixth worst defense in the National Football League as of right now because they're ranked 27th overall, I'm looking at yesterday's game film between the Minnesota Vikings versus Carolina Panthers. I'm sitting there, putting on my thinking cap, staring at the game. I'm like, okay, that's how you attack the offensive lineman for the Carolina Panthers. That's how you rough up Cam Newton, huh? Okay. And how you blanket their receivers and running backs, tight ends, and okay. Give Cam Newton something to think about. Okay. But it's easier said than done. You can't stop Cam Newton. You think you can contain him or slow him down. Good luck with that. Now, if you're the offense for the Atlanta Falcons, you're like, oh, this is gonna be a party. Let's look at the secondary. I ain't worried about them. I ain't worried about nothing. Attack James Bradbury. So that's what they're thinking. Now, for the Carolina Panthers, on the defensive side of the football, tackle, make the proper angle, make sure not only you get more than 2 sacks, make sure you get a turnover. I don't care if it's 8 turnovers or 4 turnovers, as long as you put the Panthers offense in a good field position. If you do all those things, Carolina will get their second win of the season. If the Carolina Panthers get a double-digit lead, you got to continue to score more points. And they got to protect Cam Newton, and Cam Newton has to get rid of the football quicker. So, and it's also in the Falcons versus Panthers game, it's also going to come down to, the coaches, Dan Quinn versus Ron Rivera, which coach is going to make the most mistakes. You got Kyle Shanahan as the offensive coordinator, and you have Mike Shula as the offensive coordinator. Which offensive play caller is going to do a better job in the upcoming Sunday's game? My guess is I think Carolina will win this game, but it won't be easy. Now, as for yesterday's game, oh my goodness. 22-10 final score for the Minnesota Vikings. They're undefeated, 3-0. Congratulations to their team and the fan base. Y'all deserve that win more so than Carolina Panthers. So the reason why they won the game, the same way they won in Minnesota when they hosted Carolina Panthers. The special teams, the defense, the defense was just wow, they just blanket the receivers for Carolina Panthers, particularly Kelvin Benjamin. And they roughed up Cam Newton, sacked him 8 times, and just smacked the offensive lineman for Carolina Panthers around like a human piñata. I mean, like, who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? So Sam Bradford, the Vikings offense, they went from looking horrible to looking decent. It's all about halftime adjustments. North Turner's offensive coordinator, he knew exactly what he was doing. You saw, and there was the results. Speaking of the loser team, the Carolina Panthers, the reason why they're 1-2, their 11th home game winning streak was snapped. It's over, done with, history, finito, finished, burned to ashes. First of all, the offense. Cam Newton, you're holding on to football for too long. You just take what the defense is giving you. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. The offensive line did not do him any favors, giving up 8 sacks. Now, even though they allowed 8 sacks, half of it was Cam's fault for holding on to football too long and being indecisive with it. And the other half was the offensive linemen for their poor performance. The running game was okay, I guess. And the wide receivers, my goodness, they were non-existent. Ted Ginn Jr., oh my God, you got to take the good and the bad. Same way I said that other game against the San Francisco 49ers. I just can't believe that Kelvin Benjamin was targeted one time and the football wasn't even thrown to him. He had more penalties than catches. That is crazy. And it goes right back to the halftime adjustments. Mike Shula, what are you doing? I'm not going to criticize. I'm not going to name call. I'm not doing that anymore. I have had it with that dude. I don't know. It's like you don't know what the heck you're doing with Kelvin Benjamin. Yes, I know that he was out throughout the entire last year with a torn ACL, but you had him in training camp, you had him in preseason, you had all the time in the world to figure out what you're going to do with him. You got to get him in the middle of the field. Throw the ball to him. Do something. But you couldn't do that. Halftime adjustments, once again. North Turner did that with the Minnesota Vikings offense. Mike Shula for the Carolina Panthers offensive coordinator, not so much. That was the result. The defense should have forced turnovers. Help out the offense a bit. Yeah, you got 2 sacks. That's great. You roughed up Sam Bradford just a little bit. But it didn't help. The special teams was garbage. The coaching staff, including Ron Rivera, oh my God, how do you get out-coached? Oh my goodness, man. Why are you going for a 54-yard field goal where you could have just punted the ball and pinned the Vikings offense deep in their own end zone? I don't understand. I just don't. I really don't. And with that, I'm done with this game. Oh, before I go, there's something that needs to be said. If I hear one person, if I hear one more person bring up the Carolina Panthers lost this game because their head was not in the game, it had everything to do with the protest and the rioting, the distraction, I'm going to hurt somebody. I'm going to punch a TV at this point. I am so sick of hearing that. You make millions of dollars. It's your job to block everything out. You couldn't even do that. No, you had a double-digit lead in the first quarter. Well, in the first half. And you still lost the lead. Lost the game, and you were outscored, and you didn't even score a single point again after the first quarter. Oh, yeah, you gave up that punt return touchdown, too, for the special teams as well. So, there you go. And with that, throwing y'all a salute. I'm out. Keep calm. Keep pounding.